Hi there, I'm Cheryl. Today we're going to talk about peppers. I love to grow peppers. They're a challenge for me to germinate, and they're pretty, and there's so many different varieties, so I find it very interesting. I've been growing peppers for about 10 years. For mostly the first 7 years just for ourselves, and then recently the last 3 years for retail. And I thought that I would share my experience of growing peppers. We're Buttercup's Backyard Gardens so as I said, we have a small greenhouse. Very small community, about less than 1,000. We're classified a hamlet. We don't have a gas station or much of anything. But a lot of the smaller communities around us, they come. So from even as far as from Edmonton. We are a Zone 4, which doesn't really matter because it does matter because I have found varieties that do grow well in our climate, but mostly growing in a greenhouse or like at least a cold frame to get these so that we could have something at the end of the season to eat. And yeah, so that is what we do. I'll share with you what I'm growing, what kinds have done well for me. Another reason that I like to put the peppers in the greenhouse is we have really high winds, and I find that it really destroys the plants, the leaves, and they just don't seem to grow very well with that. Okay, so this first pepper I'm going to tell you about is called Agi de la Pradera. I found it through No-Co Seeds here in Canada, Saskatchewan, and we tested it last year. So because I have a few people who also like to grow, to try and grow new things with me. So what I'll do, what I've done is I've asked one person who grows kind of more in the field and another person who grows in a greenhouse as I do, and then myself. So there's 3 of us will test the pepper. On this one, it did amazing. So I put one pepper plant outside. It had no heat, but it was covered with just poly, like a frame, like a cold frame, I guess you would call it, with no. So it was protected from the wind, from the wind, but opened, and it did take frost, and the leaves, you could see that it had taken damage, but no burn. So, and it recovered by that afternoon, which it was amazing. So, because not everybody can put up a greenhouse or wants to put up a greenhouse, but we want peppers. It is a hot pepper, and it's a really interesting plant. It had as it ripens, it gets hotter, like how most peppers do, but it was good to eat. It had good flavor even if you wanted to pick it earlier, and it had high production. So that's No-Co Seeds in Saskatchewan. I don't know if you could kind of show. I know people like to show the seed package. Okay, so I'll try not to take too long, but I really am. I really like to grow. There's a lot of history behind some of these pepper plants too, so this is neat. Yeah, and this is their plant that they grow from seed, so you know that you're not getting a plant from seeds from a different country. They're good for our climate. So here's another one. This is not a rare or unusual, unique plant. It's the red cayenne hot pepper. But I would like to tell you about Greta's Family Garden. They're in Montreal, Quebec, here in Canada. They are EcoCert for organic, so certified organic seed. And they are growing, testing for germination rate, and selling the seeds from their farm. So to me, it is important. I think it does affect what you get at the end of your growing season. So this is a red cayenne. There's quite a few from Greta's. I'll show you the package if you go find, if you like to grow. And the first group I'm going through here is the hots. I'll explain to you later why they're separated. And then this is another farm from Quebec. It's called Birri, Birri, and that's an orange cayenne pepper. I get a lot of peppers from these plants. The cayenne is nice for drying. They're also nice to, of course, you can grind them, which I haven't done yet, but I just chop them up and use them. Here's another one that I grew last year. It is no-co seed from Canada in Saskatchewan again, from the first one. And it's called a chimeo. It's a chili pepper from New Mexico, but it is also extremely early. It's a smaller plant that you could grow, because I grow a lot of my peppers in pots. I think they're like the 5 gallon. They're the larger pots. I do that for space. And peppers don't have an incredible root system. I don't grow them as perennials, so that works for me. And this is a chimeo, and it had high yield, and it was an early plant as well. So if you're looking for something in a colder zone, that will produce something for you at the end of the season. There, that's a good one. Death spiral. This one you need to have a greenhouse, and you're probably going to either start your plant in December or heat your greenhouse to get something from this plant. But I do have customers who do that, and it's a pretty neat plant. Death spiral from Baker's Creek. That's an American. Missouri? Yeah, Missouri. This one is a company I order from here in Canada. Some of the seeds that you order from them, it's up to you what your preference. Some are their pepper plants, and some they've brought in. So from other pepper growers. This is one of theirs. It's an APS. What is that? And it's a red ghost. And then this one I grew is the tombstone ghost. So those ones you also need, in our climate, a greenhouse to get plants from. Or you could start them, I suppose, in December and have them in your house. I don't have room for that. They size out of my light space. So I have room, but I would have to I don't do that. Here's another one from Greta's seeds. It's the Hungarian hot wax pepper. This is pretty, I guess I would call it an heirloom. They're very classic pepper to grow. People ask for that for a Hungarian wax market. Hungarian wax hot pepper for market selling or backyard selling. It does well, and it has a high yield. The next two are from jalapenos from Johnny's. I have an early jalapeno, which is a 60-day green, and then 80-day red. Pretty standard pepper. People like the jalapenos. We do too. Salsas. This is an El Jefe. It's a 67-day to green, 90 days to red. So, and this one I chose because it was a hybrid. So this seed is about, let me see if there's a date on it, 2022. So that would have been the first year that I started growing for retail. And I chose this one because it was a hybrid and it has some disease resistance. I don't find we have a lot of issues with our plants, or I don't, and I haven't heard people really talking. We get some thrips, which not much you can really do. But actually, I might have found a solution yesterday, so I'll talk about that in a bit. Okay, and the next jalapeno is called Megatron. This is new to me. The reason I ended up getting it was my garden club. We do everybody puts down 5 plants that they want. So many, 3 flowers and 4 flowers and 2 vegetables. And this one came up in the draw. So it was a Megatron. And a customer had also mentioned that this is a high producing plant. So we're going to grow it. Megatron. We'll see. We'll see this year how it goes. This is so this is called a jigsaw pepper. And this is new to me, and I have not bought seeds from this lady before. She's in Canada as well, but she's some really interesting, unique things you couldn't get at your local Walmart or through West Coast Seeds, which is popular here in Canada. I didn't see a pepper like this from them, and it's called the jigsaw pepper. There's a few varieties of these. These are gorgeous plants, and they do produce small peppers. Some are spicy, some are sweet, but I like to grow them because they're so pretty purple peppers. So this one comes in, on one plant you get a yellowy, looks like yellow striped. You get red, you get green, you get purple, and the leaves are variegated with purple. So I'm looking forward to growing that. It'll be fun. This one I've grown before. Another really pretty pepper. Pretty purple pepper. It's called the little blue hot pepper. And that's from Greta Seeds. So another ornamental. Yes, it gives you peppers. You would have to have quite a few plants, I think, if you were like processing for canning, because they're, I guess, a quarter of the size of a jalapeno. You would need a lot. The next one is a Scotch bonnet. This is pretty high yield. It's a pepper about like this big. They're pretty cute. And the history behind, I'll let you know a little bit, is because their hats look like this, what the Scotch people wear, so they called it a Scotch bonnet. It is not a pepper from Scotland. I believe it's, I won't say because I forget, but yeah, it's not from Scotland, but it's a Scotch bonnet pepper, and that's from Greta's. I'm not sure if this is, I'm not very new. I'm new at making YouTube videos, excuse me. So I hope you'll bear with me. And the next one is new to me. It's called SHU. The name caught me because the Scoville rating for peppers is there's a SHU, and then the Scoville rating. So I thought it was funny. But it's another variegated plant. But this one doesn't have like the little round, like the little jalapeno shape. It's like a longer pepper with, I guess, similar to chili, like which one is that? That's short. the ones that you go for chili powder. Here, let's see. Like the cayennes. It's like a long, thin pepper on a pretty purple leaf, variegated. So that's good. This one, oh yes, this is my daughter's favorite. It is a sugar rush peach. This one is from Baker Creek, but you can get the sugar rush peach seeds from a lot of places. It's a neat plant. So it has the same, with most of the peppers, the longer you leave it, it'll get hotter. But if you pick this, she picked it when it was, no, what would the word be? It wasn't quite, hadn't been, it's developed, it's fully developed, it has the color, but it hadn't been on the plant for very long. Does that make sense? I think there's probably a better way to say that, but it was, yeah, so fully developed, but not left to get hot. And she really liked that flavor. And if you leave it longer, it's kind of hard, it's hard to tell. You have to be paying attention to your plant to differentiate because it doesn't change color. So you get kind of a surprise. She picked one later in the summer and it was like, we were in the van and had grabbed some peppers and she got a surprise. It was pretty hot. So that was good. I don't know. Does it say the SHE one? No, it doesn't. But it's one of the hotter ones. Okay. Next is the Anaheim. That's a popular pepper from Mexico. And this Scoville it's a little bit milder than jalapeno, but the flavor is quite different. So if people like to cook with that or make sauces, Anaheim from Greta's. I just have 2 packages. Okay, here's another Canadian company, actually here in Alberta. It's called Little Bow Seed Company. And this one, they had the Padron, which I've grown and bought. I have bought this seed from other places. And this plant sells really well for me. People like it. It's another one where you could use, if you pick it early, it's not too hot. And then if you leave it, it'll be a little bit hot. It'll get spicier. So yeah, the Padron. And it stays green. It's really good grilled or fried, whichever you're doing. If you're doing summer barbecue, it's nice. So those are the hot peppers. Actually, I have a few more hot peppers coming. Hopefully they'll be here Monday because I need to get them growing, especially with hot peppers. Okay, so then I'll let you share. Okay, these are the Miapis. There. I'll tell you in a minute why I keep them separate. So this is a Habanda, and it looks like a habanero, but it's sweet. And a lot of there are quite a few different names of habaneros that are sweet, but this is the first one I had found. And earlier this year I had been shopping peppers and I realized that there was different varieties of this, so that's neat. So that's a bit of fun to have something you could kind of fool around with that. Then we have a lunchbox pepper from Johnny Seeds. They're a mini pepper, so you got quite a good yield. I don't think there's anything here that doesn't have a good yield anymore because I've stopped growing those. And we won't, it's not that their seed was bad, or it's just what grows good in our climate. And you can grow the hot peppers, as I said, if you have a greenhouse or if you're willing to start them much earlier in the year. Okay, so this is a new one to me. It's called a salsa pepper. It's a thick wall, but it's a bit smaller. than a bell pepper, but in between, it's bigger than the lunch, so that's why I kind of picked it. It's kind of a happy in the middle choice for customers. A sweet salsa pepper. The next one is Alba. This is a really pretty plant. It's food, but I like it's. I think when you're growing a lot, I find I like to do different things, not the same plants all the time. But as when you're growing for retail, you have to kind of grow what people like. And I sell more sweet peppers than hot peppers. But I have been gaining, I suppose, a reputation that I have these unique varieties and that I have the hot peppers. So it's good. The next one is the Alba. I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. My apologies. It switches. It's white, and it cream streaks to coral, and then it goes a coral red. So it's very pretty. This Alba Regia, sorry, and that's from Greta's as well. Then we have our bells. I grow a yellow bell. Mackenzie seed, so you don't have to necessarily order online to find organic, because Mackenzie seed you can find Mackenzie seeds here in Walmart, Canadian Tire, I believe Home Depot. Oh, and the co-op, our local co-op also sells Mackenzie seeds. And they do have an organic line of seeds. And this is a red. It's from green to red. Mr. Fothergill's. I don't order too much I do most of my ordering online because I can get a larger quantity and I know how many seeds I'm getting. A lot of these, you kind of just gotta tap at it and see how many seeds are in there so you can get yourself together for market. This is just I bought an extra package because I was almost out of the red, and this is from Incredible Seeds Company. Yeah, they are in Nova Scotia, so it turns red. Just a basic California Wonder bell pepper. They're very popular. This one is called the Carmen. It's an F1 hybrid, and it is 60-day green, 80-day red. I really like this pepper. It's a reliable plant. It gives me a higher yield, and it's a good bell pepper. However, customers sometimes don't recognize a name. Like they want a California Wonder, and I'm trying to say, hey, this is kind of a more productive plant, and I'm gaining people's trust, I believe, and as they try to grow things, they find for themselves it does grow a bit better than just the California Wonder. So that's a Carmen F1. It's a good plant. This is another one, Corno de Toro. It's another sweet pepper that produces high for us. It is a different shape. It's really nice for stuffing. Just cut it the other way and then put cheese on top and grill it. Oh, it's so good. So good. Here's another pretty pepper. They're purple and yellow and tangerine and purple and all the colors. It doesn't have the variegated leaves, but it is a sweet pepper, and it is called Aiko. And then Little Bo Seed Company. This is a dragonfly, another purple pepper. It has a thick wall. and if you leave it, it will turn red if you don't want the purple pepper, and that's called the dragonfly. So I have not grown this one before, so I'm looking forward to it. It also said it's an AAS winner, so it'll be fun. Here's another one, a sweet. It is a King Arthur, and the reason I chose this is because it has, she says, it has high yields, and it matures early, and it gets the color faster than most varieties. So we'll trial that this year, and maybe it'll make my top list with the Carmens for sweet peppers. King Arthur. So with Little Bow Seed Company, they also grow and produce their own seed and do the germination test. So you have to order very early from them. They're a small company and they sell out quickly. So that is my advice to you. Okay, I have 3 more here. Oh, the poblano. Standard poblano pepper, hot pepper. And that is from Berry in Quebec. And then here's a new one. So this one has an interesting, it has been crossed and bred here in Canada, and it's a renegade. It's a sweet. So a lot of people put a lot of time into the hots, and I'm seeing that not a lot of time is being put into sweet peppers to get different varieties that are higher yielding and more like growing in a shorter amount of time and being adaptable to our climate. So, but this one is one. If you want to look it up and read about it, it's pretty interesting. The Renegade. So 62 days for a full-size bell pepper is really good, and I hope it does well. So we'll see about that. And it is also an EcoCert seed, so organic certified. That's that one. Oh, I have these separate because, and this one, Shishito, still don't know if I'm saying that right, is a really neat pepper. It grows like wonky, and it has bumpy, and it's an odd looking plant of pepper. It's about, I guess that would be just a little over 2 inches, but it produces a lot of plants, or a lot of peppers, and it produces them really early, and it's really good for frying and stir fries and just eating fresh. It has a really different flavor. The reason how I found this pepper was a few years ago in 2022. I was looking for different varieties to grow and to offer people, and this one came up as one of the top peppers preferred by chefs. So I thought, well, we gotta try that. So it's a good plant. It makes good food. It will turn red. You can, if you want to leave it, but you can grow. You can very successfully eat it green. It has a lot of flavor. It's good. Okay, so, and I have another 13 coming. Those are mostly hots, the specialty. I ordered some Dragon's Breath and different really hot ones from APS, but they haven't arrived yet, and that's not their fault. I kind of had decided to grow some more. So that will be a total of 46 varieties of peppers on our farm this year. This will be fun. I don't grow a huge quantity. I'm selling for market, but my population isn't very high. So there's not a lot of, I don't have a huge customers. base for that. Yeah. So when you're growing that many different kinds of peppers, how do you keep it all organized? You're going to maybe not think about that. And I don't know if I have a perfect plan, but this is what I do. So I told you I would explain why the hot peppers are separated from the sweet. So I grow in just cell trays. I put about 3 to 4 in each cell. And what I found by trial or frustration was when I used to do it alphabetically, because I always thought I needed to be organized, and you need to know what pepper is which. Of course, they look the same. So I label with these tags, and if I went alphabetically, Aji, hot, I think the first couple varieties that I grow in the alphabet are hot, and then I come to a Carmen. So I've got hot, 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 sweet, hot, sweet, sweet, sweet. So in this tray, what would happen to me, I would have peppers that the sweet peppers usually germinate within 2 weeks, but the hot peppers need about 4 to 6 weeks to germinate. And so I would have a mess. These are going to be potted up anyways, but they didn't need to be potted up. The only reason I had to pot them up a little bit earlier was because they can't stay on the heat mat. So once they germinate and they get those, the 2 leaves, you want to take them off the heat mat. But I had seeds in here that still needed, so what I had to do was take out my Carmens, my whatever else was in the tray. I guess I remember doing it with Carmens, and then I had a space issue where, you've got half a tray full on a heat mat, but I wanted to use my heat mat for something else. And that's why I do it. I put hots all in the one tray, and that it's not perfect. What I will watch for to make it better for next year is I will pay more attention to what is germinating. I try to keep track. I don't know if that is possible, because maybe one year your peppers germinate in 10 days and the next year they take 20. So, but that's the best advice I could give to you, is growing a large amount of varieties is to put your hot pepper trays, your hot pepper seeds into one tray together, and that will help you with the issue that I had. So there we go. Then I also did a spreadsheet. I grew a lot of other plants besides peppers, the tomatoes, the vegetables, and flowers. I don't know if you could see this, and it probably doesn't make sense to you, but I'll just kind of put it forward to show you. It's fairly simple. I just put my date. It's for week 7. And then I have my annuals, what I'm growing here, my perennials, herbs, and then the vegetables and fruits. So I have it separated. It helps for planting up time, potting up time. And I put how many I'm going to grow. I try to stick to that. Sometimes there'll be a few extra seeds, and I might be able to just tuck them in. So, but I try to stay within that plan. And then I used to put the depth, but I've been growing quite a few varieties. I don't, it's not as necessary for me anymore to put the depth, so I'd probably take that out next year. I do put whether they need heat or not. I don't have the brain capacity to remember all the different things that do need heat and don't. I mean, some things I'm getting better at, but you know, I don't need to put that the peppers need heat. I know it. But say with your flowers, actually I don't have any that needed heat this week, so that was nice. And I can kind of plan my space for what I need, how many heat mats I need set up too, if I know that. Sorry, dogs are grabby. And then I put here a note for days to germination. So I had the date here. I know when I planted them, and then I'm keeping track of the approximate date of germination. And that's how I keep myself sorted out. So try to somewhat be organized with that. And then of course the tags. Okay, so that's that. That might help you if you're market gardening or have a small greenhouse in your backyard. I don't know how the commercial people do it. That's, you know, I believe they buy tags. I don't think they sit with pencil and do what I do, which is another thing that might be helpful for you. So as I said, this is the third year that I've been growing peppers, or all the other plants as well, the herbs, the annuals, the flowers. Oh, and I didn't mention, we have a flower garden as well. So we do events, and we're in the process. We haven't been as successful as I hoped, but it'll get there. So we do cutting garden events and sell flowers as well to extend our income from our property. That's fun. Okay, so I just put here the name and what I was doing to reuse these, because I do like to grow as earth friendly as possible. I was just putting them in a can and I would erase all these things and redo them. And I realized last year, yes, I have time to do that. Maybe you can watch YouTube videos, which I love to watch YouTube gardening videos. But there's other things to do. So I stopped erasing them and I organize it by my growing week. So I have a can for February, March, April, May. It could be a box, whatever, something, so I'm not duplicating my work. And I stopped this year. I said, okay, well, I don't need to write the date on here anymore because I did the spreadsheet last year, so I won't do that anymore. That will save me some more time. The more efficient we can be, we can grow more plants. Do something else, right? Then sit there writing dates on every tag. So I stopped doing that, and I just write this one I did. This is from last year. I didn't erase it this year instead of keep redoing my work. So that's something that might be helpful. Now, what else can I tell you about growing peppers? So usually, I put the tag in here. Okay. These tags, I don't know what you're going to have or how you're going to do your thing, but this is how I do. I use these tags. And you need to press them to the bottom or your humidity tray won't fit on top. But these can also help you when it comes time that you kind of want to leave the humidity, but maybe it's, you want to let some fresh air in, but not totally. While growing in the basement, it's cool. They're in a heat mat, but I want to let some air in. Just raise some of these tags up and it will help. It'll raise one edge of your humidity dome to let some airflow in. Or you can buy the ones that have the They have a kind of like a valve on top of your humidity tray. I don't have a lot of those, but yeah, you could do that. What else? I do use heat mat. Let me see. It's between 80 to 90 degrees. I keep it closer to 90. Last year I did go and buy a heat mat with a thermometer control so I could have it, and I'm glad I did. I only bought 2 and then I forgot, but I'm into pepper season right now. The other thing you can do is these are like a cookie sheet, like a cooling rack. If you put this under, like on top of your heat mat, and then put the tray on top, I tested it with my soil thermometer. It lowers the soil temperature by 10 degrees because my heat mats are over 90 degrees. So I think that I should have better success. I found last year I had better success because the heat mats were too hot. Which, another thing is, why don't you do soil blocks? I don't do soil blocks. I bought the soil block makers, bought all the things, bought the trays, and it failed for me. What I realized was because our basement is cool and also our climate is so dry, we're at anywhere from 23 to 27% humidity, which is not humidity, it's dry. Like your face, your hands, everything is weird. It's really dry. Even you could probably hear my throat. It's very dry. And unless you can get higher humidity, what was happening to me halfway through this day, the soil block was dry. It was 2 things happening. They had to be on heat. So the peppers especially have to be on a heat mat. They need that temperature to germinate. And putting them in soil blocks, it just didn't work for me. I tried it twice. I really wanted it to work, but I tried different things to try and raise the humidity on my shelf because I have seen people be successful, really successful growing with the soil blocks. And I'm paying attention, and I think the situation is they have 60 to 70% humidity. Even in the room that they're growing, the space or the greenhouse that they're growing, plus on top of that, they're using humidity domes. So inside that space, I'm not sure what their humidity is, but it has to be, it has to be above 60 to 70%. So that's my experience. I don't have the science, but it's my experience. So that's what I don't use soil blocks. So this can help you, or buy a heat mat with a thermometer on it because you might be burning your seed. Or if it dries out, you're not going to have good germination, right? Okay, so next, I usually put 3 to 4 seeds in here. For a few reasons, is the germination, even if I do get really, really dialed in and get my humidity and my light and my everything, a lot of your packages, they should say, they don't, but your average germination rate is 70% for peppers. So I'm putting 3 or 4 in there. And they are going to be potted up again. So from when they sprout here, I give them, after they get about a true leaf. I'm waiting for a true leaf, not the cotyledon, the first leaf. I'm waiting for a true leaf. And then I pot them up again into a cell tray. And then I pot them up again into a large cup. I use paper cups because, again, I'm trying to grow earth friendly, like we're growing food, and it's just what I believe. So I don't like to use the solo cups. I don't like to use the plastic cups. So everything that is grown, the food, the herbs, and what else? Yeah, food and the herbs I grow in cups or peat pots. So yeah, that's what I do. So I just take, where's my things? Let's move that out of the way. Oh, here's the soil thermometer that I bought. I don't find them here locally, so I did order it from the internet. It's a specific soil thermometer. It wasn't that pricey. I think maybe $15 for that. But when you're paying a lot of money for seeds, I felt I needed to do better. I keep tags. I got some scissors to open this is the thing that came. You can use a pencil or whatever. I just kind of make a small little spot. And here, we'll grab some, here. What have I got? Let's make sure I don't screw this up. Okay. What have I got? I have some poblano. I did most of my seeds the other day, and I actually did do a pepper video already, but I didn't like it. So I'm trying to do better today. But I feel like I have something that might benefit to pepper growers, even if you just like to listen to the different varieties, or if you live in zone 4 and you want to know what works, what I found works, or if you're going for market, maybe some of I'm hoping, I don't see a lot of people who do small greenhouses, and I know there's lots of them, but I don't see a lot of people doing videos for market, for retail. The flower people do. They love to make videos. So I just go, how many's in here? I don't know. Guess I should do. I have 17, so I can use one row. I'll put 2, 3. I'll just drop it on top. 2, 3. I like to put them at the corners because, yes, I am going to be potting these up, and it just makes it, for me, easier to separate them. There we go. And 3. Okay, there. I don't put them very deep. I know some packages say that, but let's see if you can see. Oh, how do I show you? Maybe if I lift it up. So I just kind of like gently push it in and tuck it over there. So I'll do that really quickly. It actually takes more time to organize than to plant the seeds. To do this, for me, I guess maybe if I get better at it or stick with certain varieties and not change things as much, which I doubt will happen because I like to grow different things. I think, yeah, I don't see not trying new varieties. There. Then I like to tap them or, pat them. I want to make sure they're, oh, see, I missed one. I like to make sure they're firm, or I guess the soil contact, you need them to be. Then I spray. I like this sprayer. It's a Flowmaster. I don't know where it was made, The reason I like this one, I actually by mistake bought this. It was on sale, and I was using one of those sprayers. And when you're misting daily, many plants, my hand gets sore. So it has an adjustable thing. You pump it, but where can I spray? Oh, here. You can press it, and then, am I showing you? I'm not even paying attention if I'm on camera. My goodness. Okay, so you just press it, and then you can lock it in. And then I can hold it because, I don't know, my hands are getting sore. So it holds quite a bit of water. I like to really soak them in. I have did some trials about 2 years ago with pre-soaking and in different things. I didn't see anything that made me, wow, I'm going to do this every year. And I found it very annoying trying to get wet pepper seeds and plant it. So here, so good. I did that because that one probably I tried again. I didn't get it in. Now it's nice and wet. And that's another thing I do when I'm potting up my trays. I prep my dirt the day earlier. I use HP microhyzeril. It's a pretty standard. It comes in those big cubes. I don't buy seed starting mix or make seed starting mix. This is working, so I'm okay with that. So yeah, I would recommend prepping your soil the day before so that it can be truly moist for your seed starting. Then what I do next, this isn't necessary, but I like it because for a few reasons. It helps keep the top of your soil from drying out. It holds moisture somehow. It lets light through, and maybe not so important with the peppers, but very important with things that you're surface sowing. The second reason I like to use this is it color changes. There's a noticeable difference between when this is wet and dry. So sometimes things just happen, and you did you sprayed everything, and then you go and you check in on your plants, and then in the afternoon you'll see it's dry, and this helps you to know that. So when seed starting, everything needs to stay wet. So I just sprinkle this on top. It's a little, the price of this has almost tripled in Canada. I don't know in other countries. I'm not sure what the situation is. I've noticed other gardeners mentioning it, that they're seeing the same, that the price of this has gone up, but I still feel it's worth the cost. So I sprinkle it fairly. I cover I don't know if you could see. I'm sorry guys. I'm sorry, and thank you if you're watching this. So yeah, I want it to be covered. This is just like a spice. You can, I don't know, do it however you like. I saw some people just using a spoon. This is how I do it. It's not I don't look for a specific brand. It's not something that a lot of places carry. Here, the greenhouses usually have it. The commercial greenhouses, the larger scale commercial greenhouse, and Canadian Tire has this. This one I'm not sure where I got it from. And there are different, similar to vermiculite, there's different sizes, not like the package size, but the size of the vermiculite itself. This one is a little bit bigger than what I usually use. And it's not significantly bigger, but I did notice it wasn't coming out of the shaker as well. I had to, like, you probably heard me, I was like tapping. So it's kind of like a, I guess, coarse sand, but there's a finer vermiculite. That's not what you want. You want this coarser one. But then there's also, I believe, one that has larger granules. So you want the medium, pebbly kind of sized. Ask them at your greenhouse, tell them what you're doing, or your supplier there. And that is, what else can I tell you about pepper growing? And not just pepper growing, but how to, okay, then this stuff I just kind of leave it and, like, again, just tap it in a bit, the vermiculite. I'll try to speak in complete sentences. I assume everybody knows what I'm talking about, but they don't. So again, it's kind of fun. It dances when you first mist it. So you want to do it kind of gently, and then you can soak it in. And you'll see the color change, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Or maybe you could see it from, I'm not sure if I have the proper lighting and all that. I'm just in my basement, so there. So that's what I do. And then, okay, onto the humidity mat at between 80 and 90 you're looking for. Higher than 90 is bad. Lower than 80 is probably you're going to be able to germinate, but maybe it's going to take you longer, and that's the risk of rotting seeds. So get a thermometer, like a thermostat for your humidity, oh my gosh, I'm getting confused, sorry. Get a thermostat for your heat mats, or find a way to hack it. These are, I think you can get 2 in a package at the dollar store. You used to be able to. Last year I did it. I did use I tested it, so to verify what I was doing. I really want to succeed. I don't want to plant seeds and not have germination. Nobody does. So we're going to do the best we can. And that is the best I have to offer you. If I find something new, I will share. Definitely. Then, so yes, humidity dome on top of this. Check your seeds twice a day, if you can. If you're able to. It can happen where you've missed it, but by the evening. So I do this in the morning, and then usually after supper I just come down and take maybe a few minutes and see what's going on and make sure nothing's dried out. That's the best advice I can give you, and do it every day. Every day. Once you start planting seeds, you're working every day. So that's what I have to say. What else? Oh, so I mentioned that I had stopped marking the dates that I plant because I have it on my spreadsheet. But I also mark on my cell tray what I'm growing in a tray and the date that I planted it. It just makes it a little quicker to say, oh, well, so what's going, for me to find things and check what, you don't want empty space on here. If you've got a whole tray that didn't germinate, something's wrong, and you need to know right away. Probably not much you could do about it, but stop watering it, stop wasting your time. And yeah, so these are China markers. I don't know. There you go. This is a little itty bitty one. I used to work in an antique store and we use these. You can get them in black as well. I don't know if there's, I know white and black for sure. And I think the other name is for a grease pen. They have a little string on them and you can try and peel that, but I gave up on that because things need to be done. I just use a pencil sharpener now and you can sharpen them that way instead of pulling. And they're really nice for marking. They're really nice for pricing. If you don't want to make tags for your things that you're selling, or you want to add a happy face or a flower, I don't know, whatever you want to write on your pots, these are amazing because now you can use just a steel wool and scrub it off with a little, get the steel wool a little kind of water soapy and it'll just come right off. So I just mark, I'll show you what it looks like. So here we have, today's the 14th, Valentine's Day. We're gonna watch a movie tonight. I don't know what we're gonna watch yet. So we'll mark it Valentine's Day. And there's gonna be out of these. I'm gonna have to put something else in this tray. Hopefully my seeds come on Monday. So we'll put peppers. And just to make things even more there. Okay, so that's what it looks like when you mark it. It's easy to see. I'm not sure if that will come in reverse or not, but I hope you can see what I'm talking about. And it just helps me be organized. I'm not big. I have a little space, but I'm doing a lot of things. I think we're like 1,400 different varieties of plants. I actually do have that information. I could share that in a different video. I think I will. And there. So yeah, that is my great pepper adventure this year for 2026. So selling the peppers, I do a list. I give as much information to the customers, and I might try and do something a little fancier on Canva this year, but I just go on to word sheets or whatever, and I list them. I put hot peppers on one side. I put sweet peppers on the other side. I give as much information in that as possible. I mean, I'm not writing a book, but I put how many days. I put what the SHU is, the Scoville is for the hot peppers. I put their name, of course. Okay, so yeah, so the name. And then if there's something, if they're a hybrid, if they're organic, if there's something specific about that plant, I will put that on in the information as well. This is my dog looking out the back. He's watching me make a video. Silly guy. Yeah. And I don't put the price on my tags because if I want to change the price, then I have to go back and change all of those tags and everything, for one. Also, I want there to be more information on my tag, my label. I actually don't do tags for it's a label. I think it's 1x3. I don't have a lot of space to put in it. I may change that in the future. It would be nice to have the barcode system. Then I would actually know for sure what I'm doing. but this works for now. Then I think that's all I have to say. I thank you so much for your patience and understanding. If you watched everything, I hope something helped you try something new or be more successful at your growing or your organization for your backyard greenhouse, or even if you're doing a plant sale for your, a lot of people doing plant sales for their community, for their gardening club, for churches. Plants are, it's a good thing, but it makes it more successful and joyful at the end of the day to get it done without being as stressed. So that's where I'm going, is to be more efficient, keep the joy, and be successful at this. Okay, happy growing. Thank you. Oh, I forgot to say that ask you to, what is that? The thumbs, the like and share. Oh, no, like and subscribe. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'll get it. Okay, I got a button to turn the camera off, or the phone. It's not a camera actually, it's a phone. Thank you. No, it's turning off. Is that it? No.